Dear first-generation high achievers, do children make the best heirs? That's the big question. I think what we've heard was that biological offspring are the natural, rightful custodians of a founder's legacy, wealth, and enterprise, that they preserve the wealth and the family bloodline through financial succession, and that's the ultimate validation of a lifetime of achievement. But there's a significant fracture in that way of thinking. DNA is not a vector for operational competence. Confusing the biological impulse to reproduce with the strategic necessity to preserve capital ensures the rapid entropic destruction of both the empire and the heir. You see, reality dictates that biological nepotism is a form of passive existential sabotage. The global elite are paralyzed by an emotional status trap. They spend their few short decades on Earth building sovereign, cash-flowing fortresses, only to hand the keys to children who have been entirely softened by the vacuum of unearned abundance. This is a profound failure of psychological arbitrage. By removing the evolutionary friction required to build survival instincts, you do not protect your offspring, you mentally disarm them. Look to the architecture of the Pax Romana. The absolute height of the Roman Empire was achieved not through the genetic lottery of the womb, but through the clinical mechanism of adoptive succession. If we consider the 5 good emperors, as they were called, they explicitly rejected their biological sons, choosing instead to adopt battle-tested, highly competent adult operators to inherit the state. They understood that an empire requires a steward, not an accident of birth. To force a multi-generational hard asset into the hands of an unvetted child is an act of structural violence against the asset itself. And I know this is very tough to hear. Capital possesses no loyalty to your surname. An unearned balance sheet turns a child into a target for sophisticated market predators and internal psychological decay. Any legacy asset that you leave behind, whether it's a supply chain monopoly, a physical real estate empire, or a manufacturing engine, demands a commander who understands the soil, that understands the terrain. A descendant insulated by abstract theory will always lose a war of attrition against a hungry, low-cost outsider. The true operator, this is the true heir, views accumulated wealth not as an emotional heirloom, but as liquid energy. It must be deployed where it yields maximum systemic defense and structural permanence. Look, if you love your children, like I know you do, I love my children, we want to grant them the dignity of their own struggle. If you love your empire, your assets, your life's work, leave it to the most ruthless, competent gladiator in the arena, the one that commands the attention of others, that has been through these terrains, been through these struggles before. Because to do otherwise is to guarantee that the 3rd or 4th generation, that they become the, not executor, but the executioner of your life's work.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Watch this video next.